Hi everyone, I'm Ebony Williams. I'm a community energy advocate. I work for Impact Community Actions. As an energy advocate, I work with people in my Franklinton neighborhood and the east side of Columbus, educating them about saving money on their energy bills and available resources that help reduce energy costs for them and their families. I got into this work because I had a high electricity bill and I didn't understand why. I found out I had too many things plugged in that I wasn't using, and I had the wrong light bulbs. I was able to save money on my own bills, and I wanted to make sure my neighbors knew how to reduce their energy costs. I love getting people excited about understanding their utility bills and community resources that will help them save money on their bills. This work is important to me so that me and my kids have clean air in our neighborhoods and continue to breathe without oxygen masks. Now, please join me in welcoming to the podium Mayor of America's Equal Opportunity, the mayor whose top 3 priorities are neighborhoods, neighborhoods, and neighborhoods. The greatest mayor in America, the Honorable Andrew J. Ginther.
Thank you, Ebony, for providing such a great story and backdrop to why we're here today. Your personal experience and great leadership. We're thrilled to have you as part of that Community Energy Advocates program, and really, I think, lifts up why the work that we're doing around aggregation is so important. I want to thank Council Members Emmanuel Reeby, and we don't have Council Member Dorns with us today, but really appreciate all his support and energy and support and advocacy. Scott Slisher from AEP Energy, Heather Taylor Measley, who's the Executive Director of the Ohio Environmental Council, and representatives from Trebell, who are here with us this afternoon. As we're planning for 2020 and getting ready to make exciting announcements around sustainability and climate change at the State of the City at West High School, none of us could have imagined we would soon be in the middle of a global pandemic and a global health crisis. But I want to make one thing clear. My commitment to building a sustainable city focused on environmental justice has not wavered. It's why this work is now embedded as part of our equity agenda. In fact, issues around climate change, emissions reductions, renewable energy, resource protection, conservation, waste reduction are more important now than ever before. COVID-19 has made vulnerabilities and cracks in our systems and institutions more apparent, demonstrating clearly what many of us already knew, that access to opportunity and resources isn't equitable. And we have a lot of work to do as a nation and as a community to make sure every resident has those supports and opportunities. We know that the impact of climate change isn't just happening on faraway shores. Climate change isn't about polar bears in faraway places. It's about our neighbors in neighborhoods right close to where we are here today. Extreme temperatures can lead to higher energy bills, as Ebony spoke of, and increased home repairs. We're having one of the hottest summers on record. Heavy rains can cause flooding in basements. Remember the 3 inches that fell in 24 hours in May? These are not merely inconveniences, but can be life-threatening for a senior in Linden on a fixed income, or a single mother in the Hilltop working 2 jobs to get by. More 90-plus degree days equates to air quality concerns for children fighting asthma across the city, and potential for heat stroke and other health concerns for those without access to cooling. These health disparities and impacts are even more alarming considering the COVID-19 pandemic that we're experiencing now. That's why the work we're here to talk about today is so important. Earlier this year, in the State of the City address, I made 2 major commitments around energy and climate. For the city to be carbon neutral by 2050 and to pursue community choice aggregation with a goal of the supply of 100% clean renewable energy by 2022. This is why this work is so important and such a cornerstone of our equity agenda to address and deal with disparities in this community and in neighborhoods throughout our city. This effort will be foundational and transformational to Columbus's clean energy future and to our long-term climate goals and commitments. Electric aggregation allows the city to contract for energy on behalf of its residents and small businesses. Residents still receive service through the wires from their existing utility provider, but aggregation allows us to guarantee that 100% of the power used in our homes will come from renewable sources like wind and solar by 2022. The city is also using this aggregation effort to provide as many benefits to residents as possible, like workforce development and job creation in the clean energy sector, not only for Columbus, but the Central Ohio region, even the whole state of Ohio. We're doing so by making clear that we're seeking a clean, renewable energy supply sourced as locally as possible. And that's why we're excited to be here today to announce the selection of a partner who will be critical in helping us get there. Earlier this summer, the city conducted a public competitive bidding process in search of a preferred energy supplier for the intended aggregation program. I'm pleased to announce that as a result of that effort, the city has selected AEP Energy as the preferred supplier for our intended aggregation program. We couldn't be more excited to have them as a partner as we move this work forward. And I think you'll see for yourselves when you hear from them just why we're so excited. Through the competitive bid process, it was clear that AEP Energy could provide 100% clean, renewable energy, and they understand our community's priorities: equity, energy efficiency, building a workforce pipeline, diversity, and inclusion. Their values align with ours, and together, we will build a great aggregation program that benefits all residents. But before we hear from them, one of our other partners I want to hand things over to talk a little bit about Council's leadership and engagement on this work is Councilmember Emmanuel Remy.
Good afternoon. I'd like to thank the mayor for that introduction. Of course, Ebony for telling her story of why this is such an important matter for the residents of the city of Columbus. It's a pleasure to be here today with everyone to discuss this important initiative and to talk about the exciting steps forward the city is taking along with our community partners. As chair of the Environment Committee for the city, I want to echo and reinforce what the mayor just shared about the transformative opportunity community choice aggregation offers the residents of Columbus. With a commitment to 100% clean renewable energy, electric aggregation for our residents and small businesses is foundational for the city's future. In order to meet our ambitious long-term goals, our community must now take on two major strategies when it comes to energy. We have to change the way we use it and consume it, becoming more conscious and efficient. And we have to change the way it's created and generated. That's exactly what electric aggregation provides our community the opportunity to do. To transition to clean, renewable sources of energy to power our homes and businesses. Such a large transition in demand for local clean energy also means the creation of good-paying, clean energy jobs, many of which will be within the city of Columbus and throughout the Central Ohio region, expanding the clean energy sector not just here but across Ohio. Just last year, only 11% of electricity in Ohio was powered by wind and solar. Through this initiative, we want to see that number grow quickly. It won't happen overnight, but 100% clean energy aggregation will accelerate the transition and spur clean energy development. To put it in perspective, if successful on the ballot this November, Columbus will be the third largest municipal aggregation in the country, the largest in Ohio and the Midwest. That's why I couldn't be more excited to keep this initiative moving forward and about today's announcement of our partnership with AEP Energy for the intended aggregation program. While you will hear from them in a moment, myself and my colleague, Councilmember Rob Dorans, will be hosting a virtual public hearing on Wednesday, September 2nd at 5:30 p.m. on the aggregation process thus far and providing another opportunity for the public to hear directly from AEP Energy. Before I conclude, I would like to send my appreciation and say thank you to Mayor Ginther and our sustainable team, Aaron Beck and Elena Shockey, the Council Legislative Research Office, Matt Erickson and Naya Walters, my colleague, Councilmember Rob Dorans, his team, Kevin McCain and Hannah Miller, and my team, of course, Jeffrey Carter, Lucy Frank, and our community partners in our CTV team. Thank you for being here, and the countless others working to make Columbus a cleaner, more sustainable community. Now, I'd like to invite up Scott Slisher from AEP Energy to say a few words.
Thank you, Councilman. On behalf of AEP Energy, it is my pleasure to express our gratitude to the city for selecting us to support this visionary community aggregation program. We appreciate the confidence the city has placed in us and are committed to making this aggregation a success for all of the residents and businesses of Columbus. This transformational initiative closely aligns with AEP's clean energy vision and our commitment to power a new and brighter future for our customers. AEP Energy fully shares the city's values, priorities for creating a clean energy future for all of Ohio that drives environmental justice and equity for all, while at the same time supporting workforce development and job creation. For AEP, Columbus is home. For over 40 years, Columbus has been AEP's corporate headquarters, and over 3,500 local employees and their families take great pride in being integral parts of this community. Now, we are eager to build upon our past service and perform as a world-class partner in the design, development, and implementation of this innovative program. Although the tasks of developing and delivering on the ambitious objectives of this initiative are significant, AEP Energy is excited for the opportunity and up to the challenge. This visionary program could require over 700 megawatts of new solar and wind generation in the state of Ohio. That represents over $1 billion of new investment in the state, as well as new opportunities and hundreds of construction jobs. On a long-term basis, this clean energy generation will provide permanent employment for dozens, further employment needs for supplemental services and supporting industries, and millions annually in property tax dollars and landowner lease payments, all of which flowing through Ohio's economy. What is more, by producing low-cost, carbon-free in-state energy, all Ohio residences and businesses benefit from affordable local energy supply. From a power industry perspective, the timing for this bold initiative could not be better. The cost for renewable energy installations are at record lows, and Ohio has good resources for both wind and solar to produce clean, low-cost power for years to come. These technical advantages will allow us to provide 100% renewable energy to the program that is cost competitive with fossil-based generation. In addition to renewable energy supply, AEP Energy is excited to support the city on the new offerings and opportunities made possible by this aggregation. We are eager to listen to and collaborate with the many creative stakeholders in developing new solutions to realize the full promise for all of Columbus. We thank Mayor Ginther and City Council for allowing us to serve you in this innovative program. We look forward to collaborating on this bold initiative to bring real and lasting benefits to current and future residents of Columbus, as well as national recognition to the city on a model for how communities can successfully combat climate change. Thank you. Oh, sorry, Heather.
Hi there, I'm Heather Taylor Measley. I am the Executive Director of the Ohio Environmental Council. I want to start by thanking the mayor and the council for all of their amazing work and recognizing the tremendous effort that the staff and this amazing coalition that has been created have put into this, and all the deep appreciation, because this is going to make a really big difference. Ohioans overwhelmingly support bold action on climate change. And Ohioans are looking for leadership at the local level to create jobs and transition our production to 100% clean energy. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but the last few weeks in the State House have been kind of chaos, right? We saw the passage of a bill that you can only describe as corrupt and backwards looking. It really hemmed us into old, dirty energy and really closed the door on literally the fastest growing job market in the world. In fact, before HB 6 passed, the job market for clean energy in Ohio was growing faster, 4 times faster than any other job market. And our State House decided through a lot of different alleged corrupt ways that just wasn't good enough for Ohioans. And we know that that's different. That's not true. And we need to take a stand. I'm so happy that local leaders through the Power Clean Future Ohio initiative have really been stepping into this gap even before we knew of the corruption. They are taking the lead because they know, because they see it at the local level, that our people not only want clean energy, but they want clean air. And that's what actually the practical difference is when we take a stand and we start to move forward and innovate towards something that's good for our bodies and good for our environment. That is starting right here and has actually had a long history here, right here in Columbus. Mayor Ginther really kicked this off earlier this year, but this has been something that we've been making progress on for a long time. And the aggregation measure here, which I believe now is called Issue 1, is going to be transformational to our city. In fact, if we're successful here, this is going to be the equivalent of reducing greenhouse gases by about the equivalent of 183,000 cars every single year. That in and of itself can be transformational, not just because this bill can, or this issue can attract jobs, not just because it can help our economy, not just because it puts us on the innovative edge of the fastest growing growth market, but it reduces our air pollution. And that's a big deal, especially when you're talking about a time when our breath is the very thing that we're trying to protect right now in COVID times. And so we're thrilled to be a partner in this, and we're thrilled that Columbus has the kind of visionary leadership to make this a huge priority, because we know it can make a difference. By voting yes on Issue 1 this November 3rd, you can do just that. More importantly, you'll help Central Ohio transition towards a cleaner future and send a message to our legislature that Ohioans continue to support clean energy and energy efficiency in Ohio. And that's going to be an important message as we head into the years to come, because Ohioans deserve better. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Heather. The collaboration and commitment from the Ohio Environmental Council has been so valuable in this process, and we're grateful for your partnership. I also want to take a moment to thank Trey Bell for their partnership in selecting a preferred energy supplier is unmatched. Trey Bell has successfully implemented over 157 aggregations behind 9 different utilities using 8 different suppliers in Ohio. So we're very confident in our move forward with Trey Bell at our side. We are excited about this announcement today about Issue 1 being before the voters in Columbus in November, although voting begins, I think, in as many as 40 days. I want to encourage people to request absentee ballots if they're not planning on going to the polls. Register to vote. There's still some time for folks to register to vote to be able to participate in this fall's election. I want to encourage people to research all the issues and so forth before they make their decisions, but I'm excited about today's announcement, mostly because of the impact it's going to have on our neighbors in our neighborhoods. Cleaner energy, better climate, jobs and opportunities, and a way for us to show the rest of the state and the country how to build a clean energy economy right here in the heart of the Midwest with the incredible partners that we have up here today. I am excited that we can not only imagine a brighter, more equitable future, but one where we're taking real and tangible steps to make it happen. Thanks to all of our partners that have joined us. Thanks to you all for coming out, and we'll do one-on-one interviews to wrap things up. Thanks, everybody.